welcome to Ad America, the U.S. Embassy's American Center, with me, Andrea, as your e-guide for today. So a few days ago, we were celebrating World Environment Day, and in order to celebrate that day, today we will be having workshop at America, eco-friendly toys for your furry friends. Jadi teman-teman di sini, ada yang punya peliharaan nggak? Ada yang punya kucing, anjing? Oh, ada banyak ya. Jadi hari ini kita akan membuat mainan untuk teman-teman peliharaan kita, mungkin anjing kakak atau kucing kakak, dengan baju-baju bekas. Jadi sebelum kita mulai acaranya, I will be asking a little trivia question. It's a very simple question. So the question is, what is the most popular pet in the United States? Is it A, dogs, B, cats, C, rabbits, or D, fishes? If you think you know the answer, you can submit your answer to our social media platforms, and the first person who is able to answer correctly will be receiving a shout out later in the very end of the event. So now, in order to start our workshop for today, I would like to invite Kak Rachel from Liberty Society to do a little presentation.
Hello. Hi, everyone. It's really good to be here today. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Rachel from the Marketing Associate of Liberty Society. Before I jump in to explain more about us, let's watch the video about Liberty Society first.
Hi, my name is Tamara Gondo, CEO of Liberty Society Indonesia. Can you imagine if your goods can lift up a community out of poverty, especially women refugees, and help change the environment? Liberty Society is a social enterprise where we turn your fabric, textile, plastic, and cardboard into new ways to engage your stakeholders. We're able to help brands and companies to shop more meaningfully, give more responsibly, and do CSR sustainably. We partner with you to turn your corporate waste into corporate merchandise such as lanyard, laptop sleeve, hard wallet for you to give to your employees to make them feel proud, and give to your customers to increase your brand equity to become able to meet the Sustainable Development Goal. We're creating impact reports, workshops, and also press releases because not only that we want companies to be able to do greener procurement, we're seeing how can they communicate their impact to the bigger public. Behind every merchandise and hamper, there is a story. 10% of our proceeds are given back to our training improvement program, where we partner with nonprofit to train more women.
یکم این تایمی بالا تکلیفی میپذیرونیم به کشور سبوخره زندگی به چهام بالا تکلیفه ما درس بخونم آیندینا باشه خوب بد نیست هم یک اوقات فراغت میشه هم یک کمک میشه هم برخورد اینو واقعا آدم احساس یکی بودن
Okay, I would like to have the slide about Liberty Society. The next one.
Hi.
Yes. Okay. So as you all probably familiar, we always facing problems with waste, right? And so what can we do to make a change? So here's our solution. First, we produce goods and gifts made from eco-friendly materials and with sustainable practices. And we do upcycling services. So you're probably familiar with recycling, but upcycling is basically similar to recycling, but what makes it different is that we made it into more valuable products. And so we also do green campaign, like what we will do today. So we share the awareness through education or through workshops. And not only that, we also have our foundation. So we also have the CSR line where we make good to our community. We have some communities which are involving marginalized women. So that is about Liberty Society. And if you want to know more about us, feel free to visit our website or our social media. And now let's begin our workshop today. Please allow me to welcome our workshop leader for today, Leticia.
All right, thank you very much, Rachel, for the introduction, and thank you to Ad America for having Liberty Society today here. It is an amazing space. We're so excited to be doing this workshop with all of you and saying hello as well to the people online. So let us begin right away to step one, shall we? Oh, but yes, that is me. And no bangs at the time, so let's move on. Next slide, please. Oh, actually, I have my own clicker. All right, so everybody who has attended today has been equipped with a workshop kit. Let us please open them to see what's inside. So you should see a set of fabric scissors, a pre-cut tennis ball that has 2 holes in it so you can put stuff through, one animal bell, cat bell, dogs may like bells too, and finally 1 wooden skewer. This will be an assistive tool later on. And should you have brought old t-shirts with you, please know that they will be of great use today because that is the primary material for the pet toy that we will be creating. If you did not bring a t-shirt, don't worry, we have extra to give out. Please raise your hand and somebody from the team will be giving you a shirt. Okay, while the shirts are being distributed, I will be moving on to the next slide, and we're gonna preview right all the way to step 1. So what are the t-shirts for? We will actually be cutting them up into t-shirt string. We have 2 choices here. We can cut them horizontally on the bottom, like the way you would make a crop top, or you could do it from the shoulder all the way to the waist. Something to note, and I will be bringing this closer to the hand camera here. The way the t-shirt is woven, you can kind of tell that there's a certain line that the fabric is created. So this one, it goes up from down. If you cut it this way from the shoulder to the waist, there will be less fabric sort of waste and all the little pieces falling off as you cut it. However, I completely understand if it's a t-shirt as cute as this, you don't want to ruin the top and just make a crop top, you can also cut it horizontally. So it is absolutely your choice. All right, let us liberate those scissors together. I know they're brand new and wrapped. So in case you're having trouble, simply just tear this cardboard piece and pull it out. All right, these are fabric scissors. Beware, they are very sharp, but perfect for the job today. I'll line this up here. Okay. Does everyone have a t-shirt? If you do not, please raise your hand. Just want to make sure. Good? Okay, awesome. Let's move on. Oh, actually, let's start cutting. So I will be choosing to do this as a crop top because this New Zealand design is absolutely adorable. Now, in terms of width, how thick should these be? Technically, it's a choice of yours. However, you do not want them to be too thin because after you cut them, they're going to curl up onto itself because of, if you've cut t-shirts before, you may be familiar with this. So they'll turn into this t-shirt string. So we recommend about 3 centimeters or 1.5 inches. That should do the trick. You can do them a little bit thicker if you'd like. So yeah, let's begin. Just eyeball it and feel free to raise your hand if you need any help with any of the steps. I'm going to be starting too. Here we go. Let's see. So after cutting it this way, I am going to actually, around one of the sides, cut it also so it becomes one long string that is double the length of the width of this t-shirt. Now, I have not done this very neatly, but that's okay. So right now it's a loop. You want to cut the loop so that it becomes one long piece of string. There we go. Here. Afterwards, you're going to want to stretch it. It's actually very stretchy. Cutting it shoulder to waist actually makes it even more stretchy because you're not going against the grain of the t-shirt, just like going against the grain of wood or meat. somewhat similar. Better to go with the flow, but if you don't want to, that's okay. As you stretch it, it will get longer and actually keep its length, surprisingly. So pull as hard as you can. Don't worry, it's not going to fall apart. Amazing. Great. So here I have one length of t-shirt string. Now, main task is you're going to have to create 12 of these. I know that's a lot, but we're going to have to turn machine mode on and get cutting and stretching. So let me know once you made progress. Please raise your hand after, and so I'll keep the status check. I'll keep cutting along with you as well. If you need extra t-shirts because the one you brought was not enough, feel free to raise your hand as well. Somebody from the team can provide extra. All right, let's start cutting. The reason why 3 centimeters may be good, and I'm definitely cutting it thicker than that, is that way you actually have more string with the same amount of t-shirt. So that's also pretty smart. I recommend cutting it a little bit thinner than I'm cutting it right now. There you go. Uber stretchy. Number 2. Let's keep going. Now, this is a great thing to do with t-shirts you think are absolutely not of good enough quality to donate, but you don't want to necessarily toss it in the trash either, because all it would do is go into landfill. And I highly recommend having very sharp scissors when you're doing this, because dull ones can make the cut very, very messy. Let's see. While we do this, can I please have some of the attendants shout out the names of their pets? I would love to know what the names of your pets are. Tiger? That's cute. Okay, wait, what animal is Tiger? A cat. Okay, who is next? Can I get another name? Oh, wait. One at a time, please. Sharpie? No. Did I hear that right? Sharky? Chappie. Chappie, all right. What animal is Chappie? That's cute. A cat. Ah, okay. We see 2 cats. Anybody have dogs? You have 2 dogs. What are their names? Bex? Ivy? Ivy, cute. Okay, adorable names. Great. You will see my pets featured on these slides later on, but we'll wait until we get there. All right. Beware not to be cutting anything underneath the t-shirt, including your hands, obviously. Please take care. We want you to be happy and whole by the time you leave. I'm also finding that stretching it while it's still in the loop form is actually very useful if you'd like to try that. And actually, if you'd like to save time, it looks like if stretched, this half of a t-shirt may be long enough. So if you cut this t-shirt string in half again, that may work. So instead of cutting 12 strips, you may be able to survive with just 6. So let's try that. As long as they are long enough, though. We want them to be at least 1 meter long. So a little over 3 feet. There you go. Oh, these are very stretchy. Cotton shirts are great for this, that's for sure. Okay. Have 4. You may notice that the bottom parts of the t-shirt, the one that's hemmed, it may not be as stretchy, so you may want to skip using that if it's not the same length as everything else. I'm noticing that for my shirt. You can tell the difference in stretch right here. That will end up being a problem later, so it may not even be worth using the bottom. Here we go. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. I'll cut 2 more strips for myself, and then I'll be ready. Hoping everyone's doing okay. Thank you for your patience. This does take a bit of focus. Hope some people are finding that's a bit of a nice mindfulness activity. Such a buzzword. All right. I think I won't have to cut the design. That's great. Here we go. Stretching again. You'll notice it can get very far. Super long. Cutting it in half. And in half again, preferably at the seams, because those don't look as good, one in the middle. And they're not as strong, and we don't want that. So you might as well just cut them. Stretch again. T-shirt string. So amazing. Here we go. All right. I am at 12 already, hoping some of you are as well. If no, don't worry. I will just showcase the next step so that if some people are finished, they can move on. So what happens when you stretch each strip out and you've turned them into t-shirt string? Now it's time to braid. We're not going to take for granted that some people may not know how to braid, so just in case you don't worry. We have detailed illustrations on how to do that. First, we're going to be doing either a French or Dutch braid, it doesn't matter. The only difference is what goes underneath or what's on top. But the first thing to do is you're going to line up 3 pieces of t-shirt string. I'll show here the hand camera as well. You're going to tie an overhand knot so it doesn't go anywhere. Right there. Pull it through. Make sure you want to do it near the end so you have a lot of string to work with later. Right there, as you can see. Now that you have the knot, I'm going to move this shirt here, you can start with the braid. Oh, also, neat trick. If you want to trade t-shirt strings with your neighbors, that may be fun. That way you have different colored strands to work with. So take your time and do some bartering. I promise it's worth it. Mine's going to be monotone, but that's okay. So here, I'll put it against the cardboard so people can see. And now we're going to braid. How do we braid? After you do the knot, you're going to take outermost strands and put them over the middle one, like so. And then you continue to do that. As always, if you need any help, someone from our team can come and give you a hand. There we go. Braiding again, heading down all the way. And I'll bring it close to see what it looks like as a pattern. The tighter the braid, the better actually. It's gonna look much more, a bit like professional machine manufactured, despite it all being handmade. But loose is okay too. It's understandably a bit tedious to braid something this long, but there we go. Let's get going. Another pro tip, it is very helpful if you have one of the ends sort of hooked up somewhere. Either somebody's holding it with their foot, if you have very dexterous toes, or you put a weight over it essentially so it doesn't move. That way it's easier to braid because you're holding one end completely still. Think about your hair, right? All your hair is attached to your scalp, and so it's not moving around. It's definitely easier to braid. I'm going to keep going. Take this one off camera. Any chance for tunes? No? You're going to feel it in your fingers, by the way. This is a bit of a workout. In total, you are going to have 4 braids, and that's what we will be constructing our toy with. Okay. Does anyone here know how to do fancy braids like a mermaid braid? Mermaid hair? Has anybody heard of that? No? Okay. I've braided it a little too close to the end to make a knot. Beware, you may want to have a longer tail. So I'm gonna loosen some of the braids here and then, maybe a little more tail. And then I'll do my overhand knot again to seal it. And this is where the skewer can be very helpful actually, in case you need to push things through any loop. These can also be of assistance, so I'm going to try to see. All right. We will take it. Not the most neat, but that's okay. We're making handicrafts. So this is my first braid. As you can see, it definitely shrunk in length, but that's okay, that makes sense. Now we have to do this with the 9 other strings to make 3 more braids. Make sure you're stretching them out really well before you start braiding. That way the final result will be longer. Once it's braided, it's very hard to stretch it all out. There we go. And you kind of want them to be the same length as well, so it's always good to check. How is this looking? Okay, pretty good. I'm on to my next one here, doing my overhand knot, pulling everything through, making sure it's near to the end. And as you can see, something to note, there are little fibers here falling off because I've cut it horizontally. And I'm going to start braiding again. Has anyone finished their first braid already? Not yet? That's okay. Don't worry. We'll get there together. We were actually, Liberty Society, we were at a workshop yesterday. We were creating lanyards out of plastic waste. And that was very fun to do as well. So plastic waste into lanyards, how? We used, what began as plastic bags and I believe bubble wrap, yeah? They were all pressed together to create these sheets because they're both made of low density polyethylene, which is so thinner plastics, basically, so they're very malleable. And they were created into these sheets that we could then use again to create more products. Liberty Society sells these to big corporations if they'd like to upcycle their own waste and turn them into, say, laptop sleeves, bags, anything like that. It is very cool. And yesterday, we also did a bit of a nice little talk show about sustainability. And one of the things our CEO shared with us was that fashion essentially contributes, it's like the largest contributor of waste in the world, which is insane. So today's workshop is very, very relevant. And I hope, World Environment Day is being kept in mind by everyone today. Here we are. Anybody cramping in their fingers yet? I'm feeling it coming on. It's work. Let's see. Jimena? If any of you need help, please don't hesitate to ask. We are here for you. Better to ask for a hand than be lost, because we want you to come home with a rope toy. What are the perks of having a very long rope? Say as you're braiding it, you're realizing, it's getting pretty short. Now, after we braid, it's going to be box woven. There's going to be a box weave, and that makes it even shorter. The problem with having a very short toy, well, it's not really a problem if you don't want to include this ball, but having it be longer actually allows more material to then, so that there's room for this tennis ball that's been cored. But don't worry, if it's too short, we can just opt to have no tennis ball, that's okay. The rope is what really matters. Stretching again. And while we braid, actually, I would love to bring Rachel up here whenever she has a moment so we can talk a bit more about Liberty Society and other products can be made out of waste, but she's a little busy. We can have her come up in a bit. Remember to make sure you have a knot before the start of your braid, lest it's going to come loose as you're braiding it, and that would be sad. I hope people at home are also able to follow along. It's nice because there's a little bit less pressure when you're at home and just going at your own pace. Everyone looks very focused. We love to see it. Oh, I bet. Yeah. So Rachel is mentioning that she's seeing wonderful color combinations that people are making. So I'm excited to see the final results later. Nice job bartering. Nah. Gimana, aman? Bisa dikepang semuanya? Good, good. Kalau butuh bantuan kepang, jangan ragu nanya ya. Kita bisa bantu kok. Just raise your hand. Kalau merasa agak pendek, tarik-tarik aja. Oh, nih kelihatan di kamera ada yang lagi nahan, dijepit gitu ujungnya, biar ngepangnya lebih gampang. Very smart. That is the way to go, biar lebih cepat. Bisa ditahan pakai kaki. Aku pernah kayak gitu. I've done that before. Definitely a great strategy. Okay. We are at string number 3. Oh. Here we go. All right, I'm at braid number 3. Next. Stretching my final 3 strings. Very excited to get near the end of this step. I'm glad to be doing this at the same time you all are. Kalau bareng, sufferingnya juga bareng. There you go. Right. Jangan lupa di stretch ya, biar nggak kependekan. Want these nice. Have a notch. Now I'm gonna start braiding. And you may notice if you're braiding it loose like I am, it starts to naturally braid what's on the bottom, which is very cool, but unfortunately we don't want that. So you have to keep loosening the bottom as you do this. Udah ada berapa yang selesai? Okay, let's hear a shout. How many of you finished? 1? 1 braid? 2 braids? 4. I mean, hampir guys, we got it. This is gonna look very cool once finished. So persevere. There we go. Oh, I'm seeing red and gray. Cool colors. Now, you may be wondering, okay, I've cut up this t-shirt, what am I supposed to do with it now? Well, if you can't wear it as a crop top, we sincerely hope that you'll just make more toys with the leftover fabric. Or, I remember during the early days of COVID, I actually sewed up a lot of masks with old t-shirts as well. That was a good use for them. There's always something to be done. Okay. I have finished my 4th braid. I'll place it right here for viewing. Fortunately, they're not not the same length. So I'll try to stretch them out. There we go. Okay. I'm going to roam around real quick, but I'll be back. Let's see. Gimana? Ah, yep. Itu strategi saya juga. Coba lihat. Apa? Oh, karena lanjutin aja. Kenapa segitu dong? Oh, udah habis. Oh ya, kalau emang segitu dipotong, coba lihat. Tapi nanti semuanya panjangnya berhenti segini aja ya. Yeah, that's very nice. Great combo. Seeing white, red, pink. Yellow with cool patterns. Awesome. Use your feet. Smart strat. Use the feet. Pakai dong. Itu yang bawah. Looking great. Roaming to the other side. You will not be forgotten here. Let's see. Ya, halo, silakan. Yeah, too short. So you may note the starting string needs to be at least 1 meter long, because it's just going to keep shrinking as it gets braided and later box woven. But if yours turns out to be shorter than you expected, don't stress. We'll figure it out together. And if some of you are braiding and you're noticing, oops, one of my strands in the braid is shorter than the other, technically, you can just get an extra string. So I'll use this as a sample. Say it's too short. If it's too short, easy. Simply tie another strand to it and extend it. That way you're not limited by your shortest t-shirt string in your braid. You can just keep going and make sure it gets as long as the longest strand. You can extend it, it's okay. It's going to get a bit bumpy when you weave it, but don't worry. These are pretty strong. And if you want to cut the tails, because they seem a little messy to you, that can also be done. So it looks pretty seamless. But you want to leave some tail or else the knot won't be as strong. See? Now I have a longer string. So it's fun. There are different ways to get creative when you bump into challenges for this activity. All right. Status check. Does anybody have 2 braids completed? 2 braids? Anybody have 3? Can I get a 3? Okay, nice. Can I get a 4? All right, I'm gonna come down and help some people braid too. Let's see. Who wants assistance braiding? Ada yang mau dibantu? Siapa? Oh iya, agak lebih kendor. Iya, nggak apa-apa sih, aman kok. Kalau mau sebenarnya masih bisa dilepas. Tapi yang penting panjangnya sih. Coba, bisa saya bantu yang ketiganya mana? Minta 3 strand. Oke. Sip, 1, 2, 3. Kasih. Ambil ya. Bahannya very stretchy. Nice. Okay, let's do it. Good. Kalau ada lagi tim LS yang free, bisa minta tolong kepang. Thank you. Let's give everyone a hand. This is the longest step in the entire process, promise. Karena ada banyak banget yang harus dikepang. Tapi setelah itu lebih pendek kok, janji. Semangat teman-teman. Di sini ada yang suka thrifting nggak? Beli baju bekas? Hey, where do you go thrifting, Rach? Let us know. Pasar Baru or Pasar Senen, ya, good spots. Ada rekomendasi lain dari teman-teman? Thrifting bagusnya di mana? Blok M. Yes. Mana?
Bandung.
Gede Bage Bandung. Ah, oke, warga Bandung ya. I see. Okay. I've gone to Pio Pio before. Ada yang pernah dengar nggak? Pio Pio store. Kayak ada di Bintaro sama di satu lagi mana ya? Some of the stuff there is pretty cute. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair. True. Yeah. Thrifting is very fun. I hope it becomes an even bigger culture here in Indo to go thrifting. I notice some people hesitate a little because it's a hotter climate, so they think more people have been sweating in the used clothes, which is understandable. However, there are also summers in cooler climates, and people sweat in those too, so what's the difference really? As long as they're well washed and in good quality care. Oh, Rachel is sharing a tip that soaking clothes you've bought used in hot water first may help quell any worries. It's a great tip. Thank you, Rach. Udah yang keberapa? Wah, ngepangnya very tight. Nice. Oh, another thing you can do also, after finishing a braid, you can also trade your final braids with other people, so there's even more color mixing going on, because you will be weaving four braids together. So if you want it even more colorful, you can also do that. Jangan ragu barter ya. Gak usah malu-malu, tanya aja tetangga. Loving it. My team. See, Julia from our team is stretching her t-shirt string, trying to get the most out of that thing. We love to see it. Who here, who among you chose to cut their t-shirts horizontally like a crop top? Can I get some hands? Just to get an idea what you chose to do. Crop top cut or shoulder to waist? Crop top? Crop top? Fair call. Okay, here we go. We've done this workshop before where we pre-braided all the strings for the participants. You can imagine how much work that was for a small team. It was quite an evening, but we did it happily because in the end, it was a really fun workshop as well. Okay, here's one, yeah, of course. Who else can I help braid? Ada yang mau dibantu? Siapa? Kak, bisa aku bantu kepang? Udah potong berapa strip? Hah? Baru 3 ya? Oh, oke. Kalau ada ekstra bisa di ini. Hai Ali Akbar. Hope people at home are also having a good time. Oh, it's too bad you can't trade braids with other people or t-shirt string. You can cut up more clothes, I guess. That is possible. But then, would that be a waste? Who knows? See, anyone else? Ada yang mau dibantu kepang nggak? Daripada aku gabut. Mendingan produktif. Gimana? Ada yang punya ekstra t-shirt string bisa aku kepangin? Udah yang keberapa, Kak? Ini yang ketiga, oke. Warnanya lucu. So let's see which camera meant. For people at home, if you want, and you're probably less embarrassed to do this because nobody's watching you, you can hold it with your feet, like this very smart gentleman was doing just now. Tahan aja pakai kaki dijepit. Or you can tie it to a doorknob, anything. Yang penting ujungnya nggak gerak. Ada yang udah selesai 4 belum? Dikit lagi. Akunya nggak sabaran banget ya. Nih udah ada banyak yang selesai nih, kalau mau tuker-tukeran, don't lose your chance. Kalau udah di weave udah nggak bisa barter. So I want to make sure you get your chance to trade. This is great actually. So you just pool everyone's resources together and create very cute toys. And please be careful of where you've put your scissors, lest anybody hurt themselves. Just note, want to make sure they're not open. Please shut your blades together. I'm going to show this adorable color combination to people at home. Check this out. Isn't this cute? Nih, kalau ada yang pendek dikit, terus dipikir ya nanti final result lebih pendek, you can still try to stretch it. Okay. If you need it, you can start pushing each braid in one by one. Like so. Oops. There we go. Heading in. That's through. If you're worried about the length of your rope and it being too short, you can experiment with not doing the overhand break. However, there is a risk that your tennis ball is just going to fall right through one of the ends later on, so keep that in mind. Stopper knots here actually help stop the tennis ball as well if you did the overhand here. So there are different techniques to use. Just have to get creative and choose what we'd like based on what we've got. Ini taliku kemana ya yang pendek? There we go. Oh, that's not it. My rope is missing. Ah. Ini dia. All right, team. We got it. Almost there. Great. Now, once you have all the braids through, you want to tie another overhand. I seem to have run out of rope just by doing this, so I may stop here actually. Here we go. Oh, though granted, the hole seems short enough, or small enough, that if I just start box weaving, it may not go anywhere. Let's see. Let's see what it'll look like. This may work. Look at that. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. All right. If your rope is too short, the holes may have been cut small enough that you can just box weave all the way. No need to do this overhand stopper. It takes up so much rope doing that. Just keep going. I'll do a few more and then finish mine up. There. I hope people at home, if you're streaming, you're not having too hard of time figuring out how to do this box weave. Feel free to pay attention to how I'm doing mine as a way to double check your work. I can do one more weave, I think, and then finally end it. Okay. I'm at my final weave. And I've actually come undone. I did it wrong. I did not follow the secret. All right. Great. Now, say you wanted to add a little cat bell, or I guess dogs enjoy bells too. If you want to add it to your toy, one option is to simply just loop it through one of your looser strands using the skewer. You can try to pop that in there and pull it through and tie it. That's what I'm going to try to do. Don't worry about it needing to look perfect or anything. I'm sure your animal friends will love them just the same. There we go. I've pulled it through. And I'm going to tie it. Just find a way so you can attach the bell somehow. There are different ways to do this. But just make sure it's all tied very tightly. We don't want it to come loose. I'll show the step to do that in the next slide here. How to add the bell. Great. Once we're there, if you want to add a final tie with an extra piece of string, you can. So I'm going to tie this piece off instead of doing an overhand because I don't have enough rope left. There we go. And cutting off all the excess string. Make it neat. There we go. And we are done. This is the final result. I've done an extra overhand for no reason, but here's your pet rope toy. They can bite on the string. It's pretty stretchy when woven. Look at that. Creates a stretch. There's a nice ball for a little extra. And of course, there's a bell for the adorable cats. This is what yours may look like. This isn't the most symmetrical, but just an example. If you want to untie your braid and put the bell there, that works too. There are different ways to do it. I'm going to show it here, the final result. Adorably asymmetrical, I guess, but hey, it's homemade, handmade. Now I'm going to clean up my station, see about helping other people. But thank you so much for anybody who tuned in. Hope you enjoy your toy at home. Lebih baik balik ke slide untuk box weaving atau gimana? Apa yang lebih bantu? Coba ya. I'll return to the box weaving slide for people who are still trying to wrap that up. Belum sih. Gimana? Bolanya tembus. Oh, pengen diselesain di situ aja. Kenapa nggak dilanjut? Oh, oke. Kalau ini mau ditambah, sebetulnya lebih baik mungkin diselipin di sini. Dimana? Karena ini talinya lebih tipis kan. Oh, ini diikat gini. Lebih baik ini masuk aja terus diikat di ujung. Kalau ini ketebelan, iya. Mau berhenti di sini aja? Nggak mau dilanjut? Nanti bisa dilanjut lagi dong dikit lagi. Mumpung banyak. Oh, enggak kok, udah pas. Karena dimasukinnya pas udah di weave. Jadi ini harus dibuka dulu, terus dimasukin satu-satu, ya. Ini masukin bola tenisnya setengahnya. Segini udah cukup, masukin aja. Nah, pakai tusuk. Oh, enggak deh, ini masih bisa jalan terus kalau mau. Iya, tapi biar aman, lebih baik ini di ini aja. Nih, aku overhand ya. Karena ini cukup panjang untuk 2 overhand knot. Mantap, ini talinya panjang banget. Lebih panjang sebenarnya lebih baik. Cuman lama bikinnya. Maaf, kena ini. Ya. Nah, jadi kerem bolanya nggak bakal kemana-mana nih. Nah, kemudian dimasukin pakai tusuk satu-satu kayak pangannya. Terus diikat lagi kayak gini biar bolanya nggak gerak. Terus di box weave lagi. Terus dilanjutin biar simetris persis. Yes. Anybody else need assistance, guidance? I'm here for you. Cat bell, how do we put it in? Great question. So, a few strategies. You can untie one of your braids and try to put it in the middle, or just tie it to one of the tails of your braids and use the skewer to try to get it on there. Say, masuk masuk ikat. So it'll be on like the corner or the edge of the toy. Yeah. Because it's hard to get it in the middle. That looks great. Nice job. Okay. Anybody else? Iya, ini lanjut aja kok. Iya, sampai selesai. Tapi sisain ekor biar masih bisa diikat. Somebody asked a great question. It doesn't seem to fit if it's already box woven. How do I get my tennis ball in? You see, you have to get each individual braid through the tennis ball. Nggak boleh di weave dulu, kalau nggak muat. Karena weave-nya itu terlalu tebal, sedangkan lubangnya kan kecil. Jadi kalau sekedar weave, bolanya ini nggak bisa lewat. Jadi harus satu-satu dimasukin. Gitu. Dan kalian bisa pilih mau ada tambahan rem gendut seperti ini biar nggak bisa jalan atau mau langsung box weave. You have to exercise your own judgment, tergantung ukuran lubang kalian itu di tenis bola sebesar apa, ya. So in the end though, it can look like this. The placement of the bell also depends. You can add it wherever you can. Just take your pick. Now, at home, if you have tennis balls lying around, feel free to use them for this if you don't play with them anymore. This is a great way to use up used tennis balls as well. Which step? Mau diulang lagi? Oh, good. Okay. And I have to admit, yeah, your pet rope toys look so much better than mine. No joke, you are creating absolutely beautiful things. Mine is asymmetrical, kind of funky looking, but yours are all much longer stranded, symmetrical. It's very beautiful to see. Great job, everyone. So colorful. Just, yeah, rocking it. Serius, bagus-bagus banget loh ini pada bikinnya. Kalian berhak bangga ya, asli. Punyaku malah aba-aba. Oh, nggak usah di-note, lanjut aja langsung box Swift. Lubangnya kecil kan? Ya, aman.
Oh, berarti
Langsung lanjut gini aja. Biar nggak kehabisan tali. Tapi ini nggak simetris. Yang di atas mau ditunjukin, bentar ya. Halo, can I help? Nice, cute. Nggak usah di overhand kependekan. Iya bener. Oke. Udah tembus nih. Tembusin satu-satu terus langsung dilanjut aja box Swift ya. Nggak usah diikat kayak aku. Karena talinya itu udah lumayan pendek. Kayaknya nggak bakal gerak kemana-mana kok. Nah udah lanjutin aja. Kan satu udah tembus, yang lain dibikin tembus. Sekuat tenaga. Nah pakai tusuknya bantu untuk nembusin lubang. Kalau butuh tusuk untuk masukin kepangannya ke dalam tenis ball, dipakai ya. Soalnya susah kalau pakai tangan mau ditarik. Lubangnya kekecilan. Coba. Oh, so cute. Kalau tali kependekan apa gimana, semuanya bisa diakal-akalin lah. Apapun cara mengikat tali yang kalian tahu, pakai aja. Kita di sini nunjukin beberapa teknik, tapi nggak harus persis diikuti juga kan. Kalian berhak kok. Exercising your own creativity, aman. Final result here. Nanti once you're finished, please separate your waste ya. Nanti tolong cardboardnya dipisahin. Ini plastiknya, ini juga bisa kami bantu copotin. Tapi put all your textile waste together, your cardboard together. That way we can better clear it all up for you too. Kalau kaosnya akhirnya jadi crop top dan bisa dibawa pulang, kenapa enggak? Ini punya siapa ya? I hope everyone at home is doing okay. You're probably near the final step as well, if you're following along with us. Seeing very cute toys. Oh, people are taking pictures. They're so cute. Great job, everyone. Truly wonderful pieces of work. Iya, itu juga. Yang penting nggak bakal kemana-mana kok, Pak. Wah, bagus. Keren, keren, keren. Pada jago ngepang dan jago ini ya, ternyata. Pada weaving. Pinter nganyam. Gimana? Kok gagal? Apa itu gagal? Nggak ada yang namanya gagal. sekedar butuh coba lagi. Mana? Oh, tadi malah dikepang lagi. Udah dikepang lagi. Oh, karena cuma ada 3. Oh, 4. Oke, coba yuk. Kita box weave. Ya. Jadi dibuat jadi cross dulu. Terus setelah itu nih bikin kayak bentuk terowongan pakai yang atas bawah. Ini ingat ya origin point yang ini di sini. Berarti kan kalau aku dari perspektif aku ini originnya di atas dan yang ini originnya dia di bawah kan? Titik. Nah, ini penting harus di note karena tali samping yang nyebrang nanti. Ini kan dari ini nyebrang bawah yang ini. Dia karena origin yang di seberangan di bawah ini harus dia di atas. Ini talinya juga harus di atas. Terus yang ini, kalau misalnya yang ini tadi ini di atas dan ini di bawah, pas ditarik langsung lepas. Nah, ini jadi deh kalau ditarik semua. Like this. Jadi box weave. Yay, look. Jadi bentuknya kotak. Setelah itu tinggal dia. Apa? Terserah sih. Bebas. Tergantung pilihan aja. Nah, ini terus pas kita mau mulai lagi, ininya orientasi ini pun sebenarnya nggak penting gitu. Yang penting sekedar ini aja. Ada 2 yang jadi terowongan. Yang penting itu merhatiin dia pas lewat terowongan deket titik origin terowongan itu. Gitu. Nih, aku contohin ya kalau misalnya yang ini di atas, originnya walaupun yang ini di bawah, pas ditarik, nanti langsung kendor. Nih, lepasnya gini, karena, lihat, ya kan? Nah, mau dicoba? How are you doing, Sim? Where's yours? Udah jadi. Okay, so I'll wrap them. Okay. Iya. Oh iya. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for having tuned into this workshop by Liberty Society with At America. We're so happy to have been invited again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Some of our friends will still have to continue a bit, but if you're at home, feel free to keep going as well. And I'll bring up Andrea back to wrap everything up. Thank you so much.
Oke, thank you so much Kak Tish. Gimana teman-teman, seru bikinnya? Seru, nanti tinggal dikasih ya ke kucing teman-teman atau ke anjing teman-teman atau peliharaan lain ya. Also earlier, before this event started, I asked a little trivia question, which was, what is the most popular pet in the United States? And the answer is dogs. Congratulations to Aishti from Instagram for answering the question correctly. Also, if you think today's event was fun, please consider following us on our social media. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at AT America, and please consider subscribing to our newsletter and YouTube channel as well. And with that, we have reached the very end of today's session, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in and see you at the next At America event. Bye-bye.